Julian suffered a tiny death inside of Rachel. The two had been dating for several weeks. They seemed to have hit it off after the initial meeting at Rupert's bar. This wasn't going to turn into something serious. Julian enjoyed the occasional interludes with Rachel, but too much time with her proved to be annoying. They would hook up. She would spend the night, and in the morning it was off to Starbucks for coffee. Rachel, as Rachel. "Hey Julian, do you want to grab coffee at Starbucks again tomorrow morning?" Julian knew this routine all too well. It was comfortable, yet somehow suffocating. The concept of boyfriend and girlfriend left Julian in a state of melancholy. After dropping Rachel off, Julian was pleasantly surprised by a call from Anthony. Anthony had moved out of the hotel and now had his own apartment. They both muddled about the idea of being roommates but mutually agreed it would be a bad idea. Roommates always seemed to hate each other after a year. Although Julian held a filial fondness for Anthony, their personalities were merely too different. Julian, as Julian. "Hey Anthony, congrats on the new place. But yeah, I think we both know being roommates isn't the best idea." Julian couldn't help but feel a twinge of sadness. His life was in a constant state of flux. Anthony was in trouble. The altercation with Kim's ex-boyfriend resulted in the boyfriend slipping into a coma. The charges against Anthony had now taken a turn for the worse. If anybody could use a shoulder to lean on, it was Anthony. Anthony as Anthony. "Man, I really messed up this time. I don't know what I'm going to do." Anthony sits on the stoop at the front door of his apartment building. He is nervously smoking cigarettes awaiting Julian's arrival. Julian would arrive at 10:15 a.m. They could discuss blues while playing a few rounds of pool. Kim as Kim. "Anthony, you have to stay strong. We'll figure something out, okay?" Anthony nodded, but the weight of his situation was almost too much to bear. Meanwhile, Derek and John had been released on bond. Derek had a wife and child to care for, and being in jail was not conducive to maintaining whatever remained of the strained relationship. John required meds for his paranoid schizophrenia. These drugs could not be administered by the jail, and John was freed due to his medical condition. Derek, as Derek. "I just want to be there for my family, you know? This time away has been hard on all of us." As the two sat quietly on the bus, something was brewing in John. The thought of Julian and Yawa developments began to fester like an infectious canker in his fractured psyche. "John, as John, Derek, I can't stop thinking about Julian and what he did. It's like a poison in my mind." Derek looked at John with concern, knowing that his friend's mental state was fragile.